Morning, piggies. Everybody ready for breakfast? Are you guys ready for breakfast? Here you go. There you guys go. But I know you always like your water first. Let's give you guys a drink. There you go. I hear you, Myrtle. Yes, Myrtle, you're next. You're next. Myrtle. Ginger, there you go. All right, Charlie, here you go. All right. Give the girls some down here. All right, Charlie, you're gonna come now. You're gonna eat out of the bowl. There you go. All right, you eat out of the bowl. I'll give the rest to the girls on the platform. There you guys go. Better eat it up before Charlie comes back.
Thirsty? Here we go. We still have some water. Good morning, excuse me. This mama gets a nesting box today. Fresh new hay. Hopefully we'll have baby bunnies in a couple days. This is actually our oldest doe, and she is due to have her babies in the next few days, but we've been having a hard time getting her pregnant. So we're hoping that this time she'll have a nice litter of baby bunnies.
Last night when I came out to lock up the birds, the ducks decided they wanted to have a sleepover with the chickens, so everybody slept in the chicken house last night. Some nights they just want to do that.
All right, come on. did a good job. Okay. All right, let's go. Let's go. Good girl.
Well, good morning, everybody. I hope you enjoyed coming along with us for chores this morning, but now it is time to get to work on the project for the day.
Behind us, you can see this cute little white building. We've had this on our property for about 6 years now, and last year we transformed it into what we call, and what you guys named as, the Sprout House. And in this little building is where we start all of our seeds for our gardens and for the farmers market. And soon we need to get started on that. So today our project is to get this thing ready to start seeds and to bring you guys along and show you all the things that we use in here to get our seed starting season started.
We haven't been in here really probably since last summer. We don't really use it for anything when it's not seed starting time. We store a few things in there, but that's about it. So let's go in, let's see, make sure there haven't been a bunch of mice or anything in there, see how things are, and then we're going to get started cleaning it up and getting ready for this year's season.
Well, you guys, it's not that bad. I mean, we've used it for some storage. We've just kind of thrown some of the trays from our seedling pots from the garden in here just to get them out of the way. So it's really not that bad. We do have organizing to do in here today, sweeping to do, and we're going to get started. So just to kind of give you an idea of how we are using this space from now through planting time for us, could be through June. This is a workspace, a bench that Kevin and I work on when we're planting seeds and working on seedlings. It's really easy to keep clean, sweep off. We do have a vented propane heater that we use to keep this place warm enough so that the plants don't freeze when it's still cold. We have 2 areas of shelving that we can put heat mats and grow lights on. So here and here. And then another shelf here that we use storage of all of our trays and pots and things that are gonna be ready for us to use. So basically, in a nutshell, this is our Sprout House, and we'll be spending quite a bit of time in here from now until the time that we are selling at the farmer's market and planting in our garden. Well, I think the first order of business that we're gonna work on is kind of organizing the trays and things that we have kind of everywhere. Put like things together and just reorganize them and get them ready for us to start using.
A lot of these were from plants that ended up not selling at the farmer's market last year. And then we, take the old plants out and bring these back home. We can sterilize these pots and reuse them again this year. And some of them still have the labels in from the plants that were in them last year. Since we grow about the same varieties every year, we can reuse a lot of those as well. So we'll take those out and we'll save those, and later we'll go through and sort those by what name is on them.
Well, the Sprout House is clean enough for today. We can get started planting our seeds very soon. I just wanted to go over with you some of the things that we'll be using for the seed starting season. We're going to start with our trays and our pots, our plug trays. So up here we have solid trays. These are called like solid 1020s. Some are completely solid and some of them have just like a few holes. We use these trays for our plug trays, which are these. We use these plug trays to start lots of seeds at one time. Now, if you're starting seeds just for you and your family, your garden, and you're not gonna start a bunch of them, you don't have to use plug trays like this. You can start just right in the pots that you wanna grow them in until you put them in the ground. But because we sell at the farmer's market and start tons of seeds, we use these plug trays a lot. These plug trays that we're using here, we can start 72 seeds per tray. But plug trays can come in a lot of different sizes, a lot of different quantities. This is just what we like the best. Underneath here, we also have our 4-packs. This is what we sell a lot of our spring plants at the farmer's market in, like our brassicas, so cauliflower, broccoli, cabbage. We also sell our lettuces in packs like that in 4-packs. We have kind of open trays. We have a lot of them in here at the moment. So these open trays are what we put our 4-packs on to take them to the farmer's market. This is what like 90% of the seedlings that we sell at the farmer's market, that's what they will end up in, are these 2.5-inch pots. They're really good size and we really like using these. And then we have special trays for those. And that's these trays. It will allow us to put 32 plants of those 2.5-inch pots in a tray to take them to the farmer's market. We also use really mostly this kind of dome. Let me take one down. These domes are what we use to put on top of the plug trays like this. You know, well, this will be in a tray like this on the heat mats right when we're sprouting our seeds. It will allow for it to be warmer inside there, and it traps the moisture, the humidity in there, and it allows the seeds to germinate faster. So we use a lot of these domes. We also have a bigger dome here, which we don't use very often, but it's good for when we're predicting kind of colder weather and we have taller seedlings. We can throw one of these tall domes over them to keep them protected from the cold. And also the seed starting mix that we use. You know, I don't think you guys need to worry about brand and particulars about what specific seed starting mix we use. Just any seed starting mix will do. This seed starting mix has peat moss, perlite, vermiculite, limestone, and dolomite in it. That's the only ingredients in it. Because we go through such a large volume, we do buy from a wholesaler, but the seed starting mix at Walmart, you guys, the Jiffy mix is perfect. So just go ahead and get seed starting mix wherever you can get it. Don't worry about brand or anything special like that. It doesn't really matter. So those are really the pots and trays and domes and the seed starting mix that we're going to be using this year.
Now, along with the pots and trays and everything that Sarah just went over, there are a couple other things that we use to make our seed starting a success. We'll go over those with you just quickly. The first is we use heat mats. So whenever we're doing seeds that need to be kept a little bit warmer to germinate, we use heat mats. We have several different kinds. Again, kind of like the seed starting mix, don't worry so much about brand. Whatever you can find that's going to be a good deal, and you know, they all pretty much do the same thing. But so we have some of these single ones where one tray will fit on them, and then we have some little bit bigger ones where 2 trays will fit. And basically, if you've never used these, all these do is they warm up enough that they keep the soil warm, or your potty, your seed starting mix warm, so that your seeds will germinate faster. Things like tomatoes and peppers and other warm weather crops really need warmer soil to germinate. So when you're trying to do that in the cool weather, these really make a big difference. Now, along with the heat lamps, we also use grow lights. Now, for a long time, we just used standard shop lights, fluorescent bulb shop lights. And if you're just starting seeds for yourself, or you don't have a lot to start, and you don't want a big investment, those shop lights are by far the way to go. we used those for probably 10 years before we ever switched to anything else, and we had a lot of success with them. Now last year when we moved out to the sprout house for our seed starting instead of doing them in the house, we decided that we were going to make the investment in some better grow lights. We're starting well over 1,000 plants a year now for the farmer's market, and having better grow lights was just a good investment for us. So what we did is we upgraded last year to these LED grow lights. Let me turn one on so you guys can see it. They're these red and blue grow lights, which really do an excellent job. They make the plants nice and strong, and we've just really enjoyed having them. The only downside to these lights is that they're so bright, and this purple color is kind of hard on your eyes. Not only that, but at night, if we still have them on after dark, the windows in this building just glow bright pink. So what we've actually done is we've come up with, we just bought these black shower curtains. So when we're working in here or at night, we can just cover them up like that. It just prevents you from having to look at those lights, because they can be pretty bad for your eyes if you're looking at them all the time. So not a big deal. They definitely do a great job for the plants, and we're glad that we made the investment in them last year. Now the shelves that we're using in here are just cheap plastic shelves from Walmart. I think they're about the cheapest ones Walmart sold actually, but because they're plastic, in this situation they actually work really well, because we can water our plants on here if we want to, or at the very least if we're putting wet trays on here, it's not a big deal. It's not going to wreck the shelf. So for us, plastic was definitely a good way to go. Now last year when we installed these new grow lights, just about at the same time, we also installed a heater in this building. We added some extra installation, and we put in a ventless propane heater. After we did that, we started using the grow lights, and the leaves on our plants were starting to get burned. And we did everything, adjusting the grow lights. We were really convinced that the grow lights were the issue. But you guys, it ended up not being the grow lights at all. It actually ended up being the heater that we put in here. It wasn't the heat from the heater that was burning the plants, though. It was actually the fumes that it was giving off. Let's walk over. I replaced that heater with a new heater. I want to show you what I did and kind of talk to you a little bit about what was going on. So this is the heater that we have now. This is also a propane heater. We have a propane tank outside, but this heater actually vents outside, kind of like your furnace would in the house. The ventless heaters look very similar to this, except they don't have a vent that goes out the wall to fresh air. The fumes from the propane as it burns actually go back into the building. It's not dangerous for us as people. In fact, a lot of people have those in their houses as like space heaters or to heat up, one room. Breathing that in isn't supposed to be bad for us, but for the plants, all of those fumes that were building up in the air were actually making a lot of our plants die. It looked just like they were getting burned. The tips of the leaves would start to get yellow, and then the plants themselves would just kind of slowly start to die. And you guys, it took us quite a while to figure out what was going on. Once we did it, we switched to this heater, and we had no more problems after that. So we're glad that we have a heater in here. It makes seed starting a lot more enjoyable, not only for us, but it makes the plants grow a lot better. But you guys, I would advise against one of those ventless heaters if you're going to do something like this.
Well, now that the sprout house is pretty much complete, we can start our seeds. That's very exciting. We actually start 2 separate rounds of seeds here in southern Missouri. One for spring planting, which are the cold weather plants that we can start planting in March. And then we plant seeds for what we consider summer plants, those that need warmer weather like tomatoes, peppers, squash, cucumbers. So we go through 2 rounds of planting. We'll plant some, and we'll bring a lot of those plants to the farmer's market so that other people in our area can buy plants and have a garden too. Now, sometimes it's really confusing about when you start seeds for what kind of plants and how deep do you plant the seeds, and does this one need heat and does that one need something special? And I just want to let you know that last year we created a cheat sheet for this very thing. It's not only a cheat sheet for us, but it's a cheat sheet that we offer for you all. Now we have this available. It's only $2. We have it in our Etsy shop, and it will tell you all of that information for the most common vegetables, herbs, and a lot of the common flower seeds, when you should start them, how deep, and all those kind of special instructions. And really it will work for everybody probably in the world, as long as you know when your last frost date is. So if you're kind of concerned about when to start your seeds and you're thinking it's going to be too complicated to figure out, you guys, it's easy. We have a cheat sheet for you. You can check it out on our Etsy shop.
Well, it's hard to believe that we're far enough along in the winter already that we're starting to think about spring seeds. What a blessing this building has been to us to be able to start all of our seeds. It has made things much easier as we prepare for the farmer's market.
You guys, I think you're going to be seeing some more information, some more videos from us about starting seeds. We'll always love to bring you guys along when we do that, so look forward to those. If you're enjoying our videos, make sure that you hit the subscribe button below so you don't miss any. And also, the best way that you can help us here on the Homestead is just to share our videos on your social media. Until next time, thank you so much for stopping by our homestead. Take care and God bless.
God bless.